Hey guys, Dan Alman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Fibonacci. We're going to do some Fibonacci retracements. This gives you a really good area to start adding when you're looking for pullbacks, what type of price action you can see, where you'll see some possible bounces if you want to leverage trade, etc. This is my beginner technical analysis series. This is video 4. If you do want to support the channel, I have an affiliate link below to Bitunix. That's the best way to support the channel. It is a very easy exchange to use and you get a nice little reduction in fees if you use my link. So let's go. Okay, so here's how we use the Fibonacci. So on TradingView, you have this on the third down, Fibonacci retracement. There's all sorts of different Fibonacci things. You have Fib extensions, you have Fib retracements. There's a bunch of different ones. We'll just go through Fib retracement right now. You can do trend-based Fib extension as well. So I'll show you that one real quick at the end. But this is what we're doing here. Again, this is for getting good entries into, purchasing something like I want to get into Bitcoin. Where's a good place to, you can use it to DCA. Again, you can use it to leverage trade, etc. So you go to the bottom. Now you can hold control on your keyboard, and this will basically allow you to snap to different areas on these candles. It'll allow you to snap to the very top, and it'll let you, snap to the candle close, etc. So if we go bottom to top, this puts the 0 up here. So this is 0 pullback. 1 is basically 100% pullback. Okay, so that's what these numbers mean. Fibonacci is kind of a sequence that's used in nature. Again, you can lock it if you don't want it to move. Now I'll show you the settings. I have all standard settings. These are the ones that I leave on, and then I add the 0.65. So the 0.65 in between the 0.65 and the 0.618, that is known as the golden pocket. So you can use this a couple different ways. You can use it like right here, for example. If I wanted to use it on a smaller time frame, you can go like this. You can go like here to here, and you can say, all right, so what are we going to do here? You can see the price came back down. It had a little bit of resistance at the golden pocket, ended up going through it, and ended up settling at this 0.382. Okay, so you can use it on different time frames. You can use it on the 4-hour. You can use it on the daily. You can use it on the weekly, the monthly, etc. Now, going back into the settings on this, if you want it to extend to the right so you can see what it is, you just do this right here. Okay, if you don't extend it to the right, this is kind of what it looks like. And it just kind of doesn't really help you that much for trying to find the pullback, because you have to I don't know, it doesn't just show you the line all the way over to the right. So I like doing extend lines right. I changed the lines to dotted just because I don't want thick, heavy lines. And again, if I go in here, you can see I have like 50% opacity, 50%. 50% because I don't want it to be super intrusive on my chart. Okay, so another thing that's interesting is this will automatically change with log scale. I think this is a new update. It didn't used to do this. Originally, you would have to go in here and click this every time you want to like change back and forth for log scale. But as you can see here, if I hit log and then I double click on this axis to zoom back in, this now has swapped to log, and if I go back in here, you'll see it's fib based on log scale. Okay, so before it would be different, and if you didn't have this checked and you're on log, it wouldn't be really accurate. Okay, so that's just an important note. Of course, they did change these levels, right? So now the golden pocket's down here, right? If you use log based, it's like more aggressive, right? So if you're using log based, that means the pullbacks you're expecting larger pullbacks. That can be good for things that are very volatile. Okay, so that might be good for stuff like crypto. You can also use this in crypto stocks, etc. But we're going to go back to, I don't use log a lot. Feel free to kind of do whatever you want, your own personal preference. But if I was to get back into this, say I sold my Bitcoin up here near the top, and I'm going down here, and I want to pick up some more. So where would I get in? I'd probably get in at the 0.5 level at first, a small percentage of my DCA if I have a really long-term mindset. Then you get in the golden pocket, and then maybe I'm going to go in at the 786. Now, another example of what you can do here, I think I have it already on this one. Fibs, let's stop. Okay, there we go. So if we go and turn on these fibs, I don't have the fibs on this one. Maybe it was the other one. Sorry. Let's go back here. Let's go here. We have just the fib. All right, we're just going to do the fibs real quick. So if I want to analyze something like, this is Binance. Oh, okay, that's why. Coinbase. What happened to this one? That's what I'm looking for. Sorry, guys. If we want to look at Bitcoin over time and kind of guesstimate where we could see this happen, what we can do is, let's first hide all this. I don't know why we have all these parallel channels in here. Let's get rid of this so you can kind of see what's happening here. Let's hide all that. There we go. Okay, so if we want to kind of look at this over time, let's go to the weekly. This is basically all the data. If we want to see where do we pull back in previous markets, you can see we go bottom to top again, and we pulled back to where? We pulled all the way back to basically below the 0.786. We go to the log, maybe let's try log, see if it gives us something that's a little bit more useful. Again, if we go from here to here, we pulled back to not very useful, right? Because that's, let's see this one. We pulled back to the 382. If we then go up again, we pulled back to the 0.5. So we actually got a deeper pullback in the second market. So if that continues and we got a deeper pullback in this one, that means we could get down into here into this 33,000 range, the golden pocket on the log scale. That would be a pretty big bear market, and I'd be purchasing a lot. Now, if we look at it in the non-log and just the regular linear, what do we got here? So go to the very first, not the very first, but the 2018 bull market. You can see we pulled back to just below the 786. Okay. Now in this next one, we pulled back to, you got it, just below the 786. So again, if we were to do this again, guess what? We'd pull back to just below the 786, which actually correlates with pretty much the same value, 36,000. So we did have a perfect bounce in the 618. Now, if history repeats, that means we might be going down to $38,000 Bitcoin. So if you're DCAing, maybe put in 10% at 0.5, maybe put in 25% at the 618, maybe put in, another 20% at the 6.5, and then put the rest in at 786. Okay. So this is kind of just guidelines. And as you can see, if you were trying to, leverage trade this is a golden pocket pullback. And as you can see here, that is quite a good bounce from there. So quite interesting there. Now, again, this works with stocks. This works with anything. So if I want to go, I don't know, let's try like the S&P. Now, let's try crypto stocks because crypto stocks give you a lot easier. Let me clean up this really crazy chart. I've already kind of done this here. So if I go to the bottom of this bear market up to the top, which now is no longer the top, right? So if we might want to adjust this now and go all the way up to this new top that we made here. Okay, so there's the $7 top. Here we go. You can see that we have the 0.5 fib at $3.87 for Keel. This one used to be known as Bitfarms. So this would be a good entry, right? You can see that 382 would be if you really want to get into the market and you're worried about it moving against you. Here you go. The golden pocket is down here in the $3 range, and the 0.786 is down in the $1.84 range. Okay, so this is just gives you kind of good targets of what you want to enter, where you can put limit orders on the books to get into these. Okay, so very interesting here. Let's do another one. Let's do Wolf here. All right, so bottom of the bear market is pretty much in this area. So again, if we go, let's go like bottom of the bear market. Let's go to the top of this last bull market, which was, only a month ago. So we'll see what happens. Where can we get a pullback? Oh, look at that, 382. It bounced perfectly to the cent. You can see how powerful this is. Okay, so we get a bounce there. Maybe it comes down. Maybe we get back into the $15 range. Maybe we get back all the way back into the golden pocket here. So here's some good examples on how these Fibonacci's work. I think it's really, really good to kind of give you a target for entering into trades. There's a bunch of other ones. You can see if we have like a couple different wave structures, like say we are, I don't know, move here to here to here. You can also use this other one called, let me first delete this here. You can also use something like fib-based extension. Okay, I don't use this one often, but you go basically 1, 2, and then something like this. Okay, so there's a 1, 2 pullback. So where could we see for like a next bounce? You can see here. All right, we might get up to the 50% level. We might get up to the 786. This one's kind of a vertical chart, so I don't know that that's really a good way to do it. Let's try some different points. Let's try like this one. We'll go. All right, we made it up to here, and then we had a pullback of here. And I'm going to drag this all the way over here. So, okay, there we go. You can see we came back up. We've passed the 2.618. Maybe we could even come up into this 3.618. This is something you can do to kind of give you targets for the next bull market. Let's try this now on Bitcoin because I think that's an interesting way to use it. So if we go here, we're going to go to the total crypto, the total crypto market cap. We're going to hide these fibs. We're going to take this fib, we're going to hide it, and we're going to put it into this little channel here. You can create a bunch of channels and folders, sorry, not channels. Let's try this tool again, okay? So if we go trend-based fib extension, we're going to go from the bottom of the bear market. Let's do it from the last one to see how accurate it was for this one, okay? Let's try that. Let's try some back testing here. So if we go bottom of the bear market, top of the bull market, right there, to the bottom of the bear market, right there. Look at that, 1.618, almost identical to the boomer snoppers. Okay, there we go, sweet. If we go to this, let's try this last one, okay? Let's see if it was accurate, and let's see if it's extending, because maybe we can get a nice guesstimate of where we're gonna go in the next bull market. So here we go, there we go, down to that, down to this. Okay, where'd we go? We ended up just above the 2.618, and where were we Where were we All right, so we're going, you know, down, right? So we have basically some diminishing returns. So we went up to just above the 2.618. Now we went just above the 0.618. So maybe this next one is going to, I don't know, maybe it's going to come back down to, you know, just below this point, 1.618. Okay, so if that were to happen, what you can do is, let's just do one more. These are kind of ugly because I don't have the background hit, all that. So, but you could go like, all right, we're gonna go here, and let's say that our pullback was accurate to what I say 38,000. So if we go to like, I don't know, 38,000, then we could maybe see the next one somewhere between, you know, 200 and 150K would be probably a good estimate. Since we have diminishing returns, maybe this one only gets about to the one fib, which would be about 150K, okay? 150K, let's see if we have any confluence with anything else we have. If we just draw a linear line and we look at these cycles, this says that we could get about to 170-ish K. So that's kind of a little bit of a confluence there. So this is how you use fib channels. I think they're really cool to use. I think they're fun to play with and kind of give you some decent entrances into the market. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. Again, affiliate link to Bitunix below. If you're enjoying the content, give a subscribe, a like, leave a comment. And the best way to support the channel is with my affiliate link with Bitunix. Have a great day. See you guys.